For decades, scientists have told us that civilization began around 6,000 years ago with the rise of ancient cities like Sumer, Egypt, and the Indus Valley. But what if that timeline is completely wrong? What if another civilization, far older, far more advanced, once existed, only to be erased by time and buried beneath the ice? It sounds impossible. But new discoveries are forcing scientists to question everything. We have maps from the 1500s that show Antarctica's coastline before it was covered in ice. We have ancient structures like Göbekli Tepe that date back to the end of the Ice Age, challenging the belief that early humans were nothing more than primitive hunters. And now, deep beneath the Arctic and Antarctic ice sheets, scientists are detecting massive anomalies, mysterious formations that shouldn't exist. Could an advanced Ice Age civilization have once flourished tens of thousands of years ago, only to be wiped out by a cataclysmic event? And if they were real, what happened to them? This is the story of the lost Ice Age civilization, a mystery that could change history forever. To understand how an Ice Age civilization could have existed, we first need to look at the world they would have lived in. The last Ice Age, known as the last glacial maximum, reached its peak around 20,000 years ago. During this time, temperatures were much colder, and massive ice sheets covered North America, Europe, and Asia. The sea levels were over 400 feet lower than today, meaning that entire land masses, now underwater, were once habitable. This means that places like the Bahamas, the Sunda Shelf near Indonesia, and the Doggerland region between Britain and Europe were thriving land masses during the Ice Age. If a civilization had existed, it wouldn't have been in the places we look today. It would be buried under the ocean or locked beneath ice. Mainstream archaeology tells us that Ice Age humans were hunter-gatherers, living in small tribes, using stone tools, and migrating in search of food. But what if that wasn't the whole story? Some evidence suggests that humans may have been far more advanced than we ever imagined. Sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, built over 11,000 years ago, show that people were building monumental structures before farming was even supposed to exist. And then there's the mystery of Chiquihuite Cave in Mexico, where archaeologists found stone tools that may date back to 26,000 years ago, twice as old as mainstream history suggests for human settlements in the Americas. Could it be that we've completely underestimated Ice Age humans? Could they have built cities, developed knowledge of astronomy, and even mastered seafaring long before history officially began? Some researchers believe we may have already found it, but we just don't recognize it yet. And if an advanced civilization existed during the Ice Age, where is the proof? The answer might be hidden in places we haven't fully explored, deep in the ocean, beneath the ice, and in ancient texts we've yet to understand. From unexplained archaeological discoveries to ancient maps that depict continents before they were frozen, the evidence is piling up, and it's leading researchers to one shocking possibility: that history may be far older than we ever imagined. One of the most controversial discoveries was made at Chiquihuite Cave in Mexico. In 2020, archaeologists found thousands of stone tools buried deep in layers of sediment, some dating back 26,000 years. This challenges everything we thought we knew about early human migration in the Americas. If humans were in North America that long ago, what were they doing? Were they simple hunter-gatherers? Or did they belong to a civilization we've lost all records of? Then there's Göbekli Tepe, one of the most mysterious archaeological sites on Earth. This ancient temple complex in Turkey is over 11,000 years old, built at a time when humans were supposedly just learning how to farm. The intricate carvings and advanced construction suggest a level of sophistication far beyond what mainstream history claims. Could it have been built by a civilization that survived the Ice Age? And if so, where did they go? Some of the strongest clues pointing to an Ice Age civilization come not from ruins, but from ancient maps. The Piri Reis map, created in 1513 by a Turkish admiral, shows something incredible. The coastline of Antarctica, without ice. But how could this be possible? Antarctica has been covered in ice for thousands of years. One theory is that Piri Reis didn't map Antarctica himself, but instead copied much older maps. Maps that were passed down from a civilization that existed before Antarctica was frozen. And Piri Reis wasn't the only one. The Orontius Phineus map, drawn in 1531, also depicts Antarctica's landmass in stunning detail, long before modern technology could confirm what was under the ice. This suggests one of two things. Either ancient civilizations had advanced seafaring skills and mapped the world long before history tells us, or they inherited knowledge from an even older, forgotten society. Could Antarctica be hiding the remains of an Ice Age civilization beneath its frozen surface? Some researchers believe the evidence is already there. We just haven't uncovered it yet. And if an Ice Age civilization once existed, how could we prove it? Archaeological evidence is difficult to find. Most of it would be buried under miles of ice or deep beneath the ocean floor. But some scientists are looking at an entirely different approach, searching for geological and chemical traces of an advanced civilization in the distant past. The Silurian hypothesis, proposed by NASA scientists Gavin Schmidt and Adam Frank, asks a simple but profound question. If an advanced civilization had existed on Earth millions of years ago, how would we even know? Most human structures decay and disappear within a few thousand years. Even if an industrial society had once thrived, erosion, ice, and rising seas would have erased almost all traces of it. But some traces of a lost civilization wouldn't just vanish over time. Some things last much, much longer. Take the soil beneath our feet. If an advanced civilization once developed industry, we might find chemical signatures, unusual levels of carbon, metals, or even synthetic compounds buried deep in the earth. Then there's the planet itself. If a civilization farmed on a massive scale, cleared entire forests, or burned fossil fuels, it could have triggered sudden climate shifts, leaving behind the same kind of evidence we associate with mass extinctions. And what about their technology? Most buildings and machines break down over time, but some materials, like advanced alloys or plastics, could survive for millions of years, hidden deep within rock layers, waiting to be uncovered. The real problem? We've barely scratched the surface of Earth's true history. Most of what we dig up is only a tiny fraction of what's really buried beneath us. If an Ice Age civilization did exist, we might just be looking in all the wrong places. Most geological research focuses on natural processes, not searching for artificial signatures. If a lost civilization once existed during the Ice Age, or even earlier, we may not even be looking in the right places. Some researchers argue that evidence of lost civilizations is hiding in plain sight, in ancient myths, unexplained artifacts, and anomalies that mainstream science struggles to explain. One theory suggests that Ice Age civilizations were not necessarily high-tech in a modern sense, but rather possessed knowledge that was later lost, advanced astronomy, seafaring, and possibly even energy systems that have left little physical trace. Others take the idea even further, pointing to ancient texts that describe great floods, fiery destruction from the sky, and lost lands beneath the sea. The Mahabharata, an ancient Indian text, describes weapons so powerful that some researchers compare them to nuclear explosions. The Atlantis legend, first mentioned by Plato, speaks of a highly advanced civilization that vanished beneath the ocean. And ancient petroglyphs around the world depict strange beings, flying craft, and advanced symbols that some believe could hint at a lost technological age. Could these stories be distorted memories of a real, forgotten civilization that was wiped out by climate change, a cosmic disaster, or even its own technology? Whether real or myth, these theories all point to one unsettling possibility. Humanity may not be the first advanced civilization to walk the Earth, but not everyone is convinced by the idea of an Ice Age civilization. Mainstream archaeologists argue that if an advanced society existed tens of thousands of years ago, we should have found clear evidence by now: cities, tools, written records, or even human remains that show signs of technological advancement. But so far, nothing definitive has been discovered. So, are we chasing a myth? Or could it be that the evidence is there, we just don't recognize it yet? One of the biggest arguments against the Ice Age civilization theory is simple. Where is the physical proof? Archaeologists have uncovered thousands of ancient settlements, tools, and fossils, but none that suggest an advanced society existed before the rise of Sumer, Egypt, or the Indus Valley. If an Ice Age civilization had cities, ships, or machines, why haven't we found traces of their buildings, roads, or technology? Even stone structures should have survived, at least in some form. Some experts say that the lack of evidence means the civilization simply didn't exist, that we're misinterpreting natural formations and myths as proof of something greater. But others argue that the evidence has been lost, erased by time, buried under shifting landscapes, or even destroyed by natural disasters. If a global catastrophe wiped them out, could it have taken nearly everything they built with it? Another possibility is that we've already found traces of an Ice Age civilization, but we just don't recognize them for what they are. Some researchers suggest that sites like Göbekli Tepe, thought to be a ritual complex, might actually be remnants of something much older, a civilization rebuilding itself after a disaster. And what about the Piri Reis and Oronteus Phineus maps? Could they really be evidence of ancient geographic knowledge, or were they based on errors and guesswork? Then there's the question of myths and ancient texts. Some believe stories of lost civilizations, like Atlantis, are distorted memories of real events, passed down through generations. Others say they're just stories, meant to teach lessons, not record history. So, who's right? Are we looking at real evidence of something lost to time? Or are we seeing patterns in history that aren't really there? If an advanced civilization did exist during the Ice Age, the implications would be earth-shattering. It would mean that human history is far older and more complex than we ever imagined. It would force scientists, historians, and archaeologists to rewrite everything we thought we knew about civilization's origins. But more importantly, it could change the future. If we confirm the existence of a lost civilization, it means that human societies were building complex structures, mastering seafaring, and mapping the world long before history officially began. This would mean ancient myths, stories of Atlantis, the Great Floods, and lost golden ages might not be myths at all. They could be memories of real events, distorted by time, but based on actual civilizations that thrived before being wiped out. And then there's the biggest question of all. What happened to them? Did they collapse due to war, environmental destruction, or some kind of cataclysmic disaster? And if so, could the same thing happen to us? If this civilization existed, it might have developed knowledge that was lost over time. Advanced astronomy, energy systems, or even technologies we still don't understand. Imagine if we found evidence that they harnessed energy in ways we've never seen before, or that they understood planetary movements with a precision beyond our own. Their knowledge could offer new breakthroughs in science, energy, and sustainability, or serve as a warning of what happens when civilizations grow too powerful and collapse under their own weight. If we truly did inherit the world from a forgotten civilization, the real question isn't just what we lost, but whether we'll make the same mistakes. So, what does all of this mean? The idea of a lost Ice Age civilization is controversial, but not impossible. We have unexplained structures, ancient maps showing places they shouldn't, and scientific theories that suggest civilization might be much older than we think. And yet, the hardest question remains unanswered. If an advanced society existed during the Ice Age, where did they go? Some believe they were wiped out by a global disaster, a sudden climate shift, a massive flood, or even a comet impact that erased them from history. Others think they may have survived, passing their knowledge down through myths and oral traditions, waiting for the world to rediscover them. We are only just beginning to explore the deepest parts of our planet: the ice caps, the ocean floors, the untouched jungles. Who knows what remains hidden beneath the earth, waiting to be uncovered? If we keep digging, keep searching, keep questioning, we may one day find proof that history is far older and far stranger than we ever imagined. The mystery continues.